Just think, you too can be like Woody Harrelson from the movie Kingpin when you practice on this 1979 Sears Compu-Bowl game. Hello and welcome back to Vintage Gaming Memories. Thank you for checking out this video. For you first-time visitors, I hope you will subscribe and continue to come back often. For those returning, thank you for your continued interest and support. I really do appreciate it. In this video, we're going to look at this bowling game I received in the mail just yesterday from an eBay purchase that I made about a week or so ago. This is Sears Compu-Bowl from 1979. Now, when I say I got a great deal on this, I really mean a great deal. I was the only bidder on this auction, and I got it for, get ready for this, 99 cents. Yeah, 99 cents. Less than $1. You can't find anything on the McDonald's menu for that, can you? Definitely look. Now, these are currently listed from anywhere between $100 to $200 on eBay. And the last two that sold went for $150 and $63.75. So I'd say my 99-cent purchase is one to smile about. So this is my third bowling game in my collection. I did a video on the other one, which is one of my favorite games. It's Coleco's Bowl-O-Tronic. You can click right over there. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's definitely a good video to check out and see what it's all about. And the other one, I have not done a video yet, but I plan on doing one. It is Tommy's Strollin' Bowlin'. You might have heard of that. They came out with a bunch of sports themed games. It's more of a mechanical game with no batteries. But anyways, let's get back to this game. As you can see, well, maybe you can't tell clearly, but it is in mint condition, and I mean mint. The battery compartment, plastic casing, the display area, the buttons and sliders are all clean and without any damage or scratches. But the big question is, does it work? And yes, it does. So let's look what I got. This box would be perfect if it just wasn't for this big chunk of cardboard that's missing on the side. But anyhow, I do appreciate the imagery that's on the outside. You can still see it. It's there on all 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. You know, it's okay. I didn't buy this because of the box anyhow. There's no instructions that came with it, which is all right as well. However, it did come with some important information, which I'll share with you. Came with this notice, and this did come originally with it. And it reads, "Note, a ball light on your Compu-Bowl will fade in intensity because of weak batteries." Thanks, Captain Obvious. But anyways, that's all I've got as far as any literature. Obviously, this packing was not original, but I do appreciate the seller putting that in there. I really appreciate the seller letting this go for 99 cents. Don't need to rub it in. Anyways, that's that. Okay, let's look at the game itself. Looking on the left side here, you have your on and off switch. Then on the top playing field area, you have these two cool looking gutters on each side and a slider in both. The first slider here we're going to look at on the left side is to reset the pins after you bowl. And you'll see that when the lights turn on. And the slider on the right side here is to set the ball behind the foul line before you actually bowl. And then you can also see here on the left side, there's a manually driven frame counter. So you track the frames you are in manually. And then there's two buttons on the bottom here that are used to control and guide your ball down the lane. You've got a button on the left that has a slight curve, and the button on the right is straight. You can see the little symbols on there. And that is it. Then there's the bottom. The bottom itself has a battery compartment, taking 2 AA batteries, and that is it. And just like Tommy's Blip game, the batteries for this game only light up the bulbs. There isn't any motors or movement powered by the batteries. It's mainly mechanical with a lot of spring action involved. Let's put some batteries in here and let's turn this on and give it a go. All right, well, I've dimmed the lights a little bit here and I actually have the batteries in and we're ready to go. We will, let's see, we'll put frame 1 in, the counter, and I guess that is it there. Not that it really matters. We're not going to play 10 frames. Power it on. First thing you do, you slide this slider to the front here, which sets the ball, supposedly the ball, behind the line. And then you do a reset. So all the pins are now showing. And you can see that there. All 10 are lit. And you can see the ball behind the line. Well, all that's left to do is decide on how you're going to bowl. Do you want to go straight, or you want to do a little curve, or do you want to do a little bit of mixture while you do that? I'm going to go straight, and I'll curve it sort of in the middle, and you'll watch the ball progress down the lane here. And look at that. I got a strike. Didn't practice. This is the first time through it, right? When you strike or spare, that crown will light up, and that's what that means. Pretty cool. And you heard a little bell chime. There's a little mechanical bell in this side there you can hear once you release the ball every time. But that's what happens for a strike or a spare. And then what you would do is reset. Or actually, you would change the frame, depending upon if you're playing by yourself, frame 2. And then you reset, and you're going again for the next frame. So now you got your 10 pins back up, and your ball's ready to go. We'll just go straight down. You can see I got 1 pin. Reset it back. Ball's ready to go. 9 pins remain. I'll put a little curve on this one without anything else. Actually, I'll go straight and try to pick it up. Let me see if I get a spare. Nope. 5 remaining. And just like bowling, you keep score on a pad, which would have came with this game if I had the instructions. As part of the instructions, they have a little scorecard. But, you know, you can keep track on a notepad if you do decide to do that. There's no score tracking on this other than the lights shown. That's the only thing illuminating for the pins and the ball itself and the crown if you get a spare or a strike. So that's pretty much it with this game. It's very simple, like I said. It's all mechanically driven. The lights are lit by the battery. Everything else is done manually, whether you're turning the frames manually, whether you're pulling back the ball and pushing it to release. It's all spring driven. Because I like opening things up, let me give you a good look of the inside of this, and you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, I got all 5 screws out, and that's kind of interesting. There's 5 screws, not 6. There's not one over on this side, and my guess is because there is the mechanical structure right here, and it's probably not enough clearance to actually put the screw in there to hold it within the plastic casing. But let's take a look and see closely. And as I always say, when you open up something like this, do it slowly because you have no idea what's underneath, especially these spring-driven ones. Okay, so here's the inside. There is the frame selector. Very simple. And here is the mechanics of it all. So very thin wiring, just like Blip. There's the mechanical bell. How's that? That looks pretty cool. It's gold in color. And here's the vents they have on the outside so it can be heard when it does chime. All right, close enough. And here is the bulb. So that is your bowling ball. 1 light bulb, and it just slides on these 2 sliders once you push one of these buttons to release. And then there's the light bulb here to show if you have the strike or spare, which is what illuminates over here in the middle. And that is it. I mean, let me try sliding this back. I got to be careful because I know when you do this, oh, you know what? I don't even have the batteries in, so you won't even see the lights. So let's put the batteries in very carefully just to show you how all this works. It's a nice snug battery compartment. Let me slide this back and let me show you how this ball illuminates down the path of the lane. I'm going to hold these buttons in there tightly. Okay, so put the power on. I'm going to reset the pins. You can see all 10 are lit, and you can see the ball is also lit here. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to just push the button and let this thing slide because it's going to go anywhere and everywhere. This cover is definitely holding this down because these buttons are very loose. As a matter of fact, that just comes right off. So definitely you do not want to just push this and let it go. Let's hold this slowly and I can show you how the ball travels. I'm going to go straight, just hitting the button straight, and you can see how this thing goes. And look, it hits this little slider, which knocks one of the lights out. And let me show you that. That's a pretty cool concept. Let me reset this. And you can see it pushed this one in, which knocked down one of the pins, or the lights. If it hit this one, look how that slides. And it just covers the light bulbs. That's all it does. It's a slider that's really covering up the light bulbs. And same with this. The lights are on all the time, basically. And then when you reset it, you are just sliding it all back to have it shown through the display. What a cool concept, right? Let me show you how the ball moves. So that was going straight. If I hit the curve and a straight, you could see the ball will be moving towards the left. And it's rotating on the roller, which you can see right there. It's got little grooves. So that's how it rotates. Once I hit this button, it will release that, which will allow it to roll to the left. If I didn't push the curve button, it would just go straight and the roller would not move. So you can initiate the curve to happen in the middle of the actual bowl towards a straight line, and then hit the curve and it'll actually slide near the end. And that's how you can pick up some of those pins towards the middle and the left side. So anyways, that's pretty much all there is to the insides of this. I will put this all together and wrap it up. All right, I've gone ahead and screwed it back together. Also put the batteries back in just to make sure all the lights are illuminated, and they are. Let's give this one last bowl down the lane and see if I can recreate another strike, or maybe I'm pushing my luck. We'll see here. How about that? I love it. The little crown lights up. Now, I know in the realm of handheld sports games, the go-tos are usually football and baseball ones. But what do you all think of this bowling game that came out 44 years ago? Comment below and let me know if this is something that you had wanted back then, or maybe you actually did own it. Well, that's all I have for this vintage game from 1979. Thanks again for watching. And remember, until next time, keep that gaming passion from the past alive by living it today. Take care, everyone.